All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here in this semifinal best of five matchup between KIKAS and Pot of Greed. Pot of Greed with a 2-0 lead here in the series, and they've opted for blue side here in Game 3, looking to deliver the killing blow to KIKAS. And what a rough game for KIKAS that was.
Yeah, it's honestly inconceivable that they had a game where Wolf was 9-0 and Thrifty was 8-2, and they managed to not win.
Yeah, it's a classic feels bad, man.
Yeah, that's just it's a will breaker when you're on a team that loses a game like that. That was your perfect game, and you threw it away, and now you are looking at having to reverse sweep to make it to the SBL finals.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, they showed that they're capable of doing that. They're capable of getting an early lead on Pot of Greed, and extending it for a little bit. But whether it was a miss execution out of KIKAS or maybe just some nice stonewalling, literally, out of Pot of Greed to keep themselves in and wait for some of their high damage champions to scale up and get powerful. It was probably a little bit of both, but you imagine a lot of it was in the hands of KIKAS as far as the missed execution on a lot of those split pushing scenarios.
Yeah, and as we head into this draft year, a lot of tough questions for Kick-Ass to answer as they really. I don't know what I would attack in the draft if I were them. There's a lot of threats Pot of Greed has shown. Can't take them all away. Whereas Pot of Greed can really just keep doing what they've been doing. They have no reason to change, and I don't expect them to.
Yeah, exactly.
As we see some same bands to start things out here: Anivia, Ivor, and Twisted Fate being taken away by Pot of Greed, and Kick-Ass gonna be dropping one of their bands to put in a Fiora band, which I think is a really good choice. That was a huge catalyst in that last game. Once Purple was able to duel whoever he wanted.
Yep, and as we stated before, the Sejuani first pick overall for blue side happens for the third game in a row. Yeah, and in KIKAS they've now banned Twitch and Fiora, and they're really set on basically, if I want to use the term rage banning. I mean, they ban whatever worked really well for Pot of Greed in the previous game, and you can't fault them for that. But when you do that, you're also giving up some of your initial game plan, your initial draft strategy that you went into in this best of five series. You're giving some of those picks up, and now you're playing with some question marks. You're maybe letting Pot of Greed play some picks you didn't want them to play in the first place, and now they're feeling amped up. They have momentum's on their side. They could have just released a whole another can of worms, letting some of these bands through.
Yeah, curious to see what POG takes with their last first rotation pick here, as it's going to be the Ezreal. So that was what I was thinking, was that, the tough question is, do they think they can play the Ezreal into the Caitlyn Zyra lane? And if they do, then they pick it here before Kick-Ass has a chance to drop more 80 carry bands.
Yeah, and this actually might be okay for Kick-Ass. It's at least not at least an AD that they can. I mean, Ezreal not the most lane dominant, I should say. Caitlyn and Zyra, like you stated, extremely good laning phase here. And more importantly, I think they take the Zyra away from Failed Destiny, who's having a lot of success on that, and putting out a lot of damage, and maybe puts them back onto a tank. I guess we'll have to see. And there it is, the Maokai, the tree ent of League of Legends, recently reworked in this patch.
Yeah, old Maokai was something you would have thought Scotch had been a player of, but not something I've ever really seen him on. And that Braum band's bad. I'm throwing that out there. If you were Kick-Ass, you wanted Pot of Greed to pick Braum, because
Yeah.
Zyra Caitlyn into Braum Ezreal was going to get such a huge CS advantage that they were going to just win through bot lane if that happens.
Yeah.
I would have much rather seen another purple ban or anything with that Braum ban.
Yeah, I can imagine the the thinking there was Phil Destiny would probably default to Braum here. It seems to be one of his more comfortable champions, and if they didn't dominate the laning phase that hard, he could get into that mid game and still be a pretty good powerhouse on that Braum. But I agree, in a series like this, I think trying to pinch the support pool is not the way to go as of right now. But we'll see how it shakes out here. Ari and Karthus were the last bans for Pot of Greed in that ban phase 2. Vladimir was picked over for Thrifty Senpai, and there we go. We see a Leona pick for Veiled Destiny.
Yeah, something I do not think he has played this season. Looking at my notes, no, it is not something he has played, but something that has been played by a few other players. And yep, that's the pick I thought was going to go with it. Purple Pickle Pie, gonna take the Jarvan.
Yeah. Wow, so, okay, we're seeing a lot of... I guess, I mean, just these last two picks. Purple on that Jarvan, so dangerous. It's such a good champion pick for him. But then we see sort of countered by another great comfort champ with Tom Kench in Scotch and Knott's hands.
But I don't think that's going to be for Scotch.
Oh, wait a minute. You're right. You're right. That's actually going over to Zwerbs in the bot lane. And unless we're seeing a support Maokai, which I'm not sure if that's a thing nowadays, since last Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a thing, but until I see it, I'm going to assume the Maokai in the top lane. So,
wow, yeah. So that's huh.
Wait. Who's the jungler?
Oh, wait a minute. You're right. Zyra is the support. Wait,
it's Maokai in the jungle.
What is Bora Bora pulling on us? What is
Maokai,
this?
Is Maokai a jungler again?
Mao Jungle. Okay, people are saying Purple said Mao Jungle.
Maybe Mao's a jungler.
Yeah, we forgot. We got Hyphy to bomb. Okay, I thought it was gonna be cool. I love Maokai support, man. That shit's fun. But
I'm asking the only jungler I know and trust if Maokai's a jungler again.
What is he saying?
I don't know. He hasn't responded yet.
I mean, I know Tom can jungle. That's for sure. It's kind of a cheesy solo queue pick. It can work though. I mean, Bora Bora he has interesting jungle picks. I mean, Ivern, not entirely meta, but still a strong jungle pick overall. We've even seen it in pro play plenty of times. But he plays things like Trundle and potentially Tom Kench or Maokai. So.
Well, fortunately, we're going to find out right away here who's going where, since Scotch and Bora are the first two to pick.
Playtime's over. I'm going. Understood.
R.I.P.
Alright, we'll wait on the reconnect there. It's maybe a potential DC, I'm not sure why we got out of champ select there, but something I'm noticing now, Pot of Greed, last two lineups, you had Failed Destiny on Zyra, like I stated, but you also had Purple Pickle Pie on Fiora, and now we see it on Jarvan, and Jarvan not fulfilling the same niche as Fiora does exactly. Same with Leona compared to Zyra. Both considerably less damage output, but potentially more CC lockdown. So they also have Ezreal instead of Ashley, or also missing the arrow there. It's just a bunch of CC though from Pot of Greed. It's like so much pick potential. It's pretty absurd. But however, they might run into that same problem KIKAS runs into with some of their lineups, is the lack of damage as we scale into the late game. If Purple doesn't really get going on this Jarvan.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think Talia has a pretty solid amount of damage, and Ezreal really has a lot of damage once they hit late game.
That's true. But Phoenix plays as Talia so far. It's been all right. I mean, he's had to lane against Thrifty, but
Understood.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm convinced yet. I guess I'll have to be
They won't have
wrong.
they won't have as much damage as KIKAS, but I think we've seen the Ezreal out of camera in the past. If that's what I had to count on to carry my team, I wouldn't feel too bad about it, you know?
Yes.
And it's hard for me not to imagine purple getting going because the Jarvan Tom Kench matchup is going to be, at worst free farm for the Jarvan.
Yes, against the Tom Kench, which is what we're seeing here. Let's pop this over to
By the way,
client.
I just got my update from Master Splinter. I asked, is Mao a jungler again? And all I got back was Mao sucks. So, Master Splinter has spoken, folks.
Yeah, and now that I think of it, if I recall all this mid-season update videos and patch notes, yeah, his saplings are more effective against the jungle monsters. So it grows bigger or something when it's in brush.
Maybe
saplings. So
Riot, they've been trying so hard to take Maokai out of the top meta for 3 years now, and they've been unable to. So they just reworked him so they can put him back in the jungle, like he was originally intended to be. The solid fix.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that happens a lot. They intend a champion to be something or to go into a specific position, and then it goes horribly wrong. Soraka mid, looking at you.
Soraka top,
Soraka
Soraka
top.
jungle, Master Yi, and non-bot games.
Yeah,
Remember AP Yi? Was that the worst pick ever?
I do remember that, and that was, I don't know. I mean, the worst pick ever. I guess I'd have to get a huge list going, but yeah, that was pretty bad.
I mean, I felt like I deserved to get reported every time I played that.
Yeah, but that was so weird though. That actually was a champion. Depending on what items you build, you use two separate abilities. Like AP uses only two abilities, AD uses the other two. But right, and then the design team's wisened up. They make some pretty quality stuff and some good reworks overall. It's a shame we might have not seen the true potential of Xayah in Game 1 with some disconnects.
Yeah, I'm actually really disappointed we didn't get to see another Xayah pick tonight because
Yeah.
I've heard good things about her, and she looks like you'll see some really exciting ways to deal damage from good players.
Yeah, that's is a very interesting kit. I'll have to research it more and figure out what are some of those creative combos like you're saying. But alas, we're gonna see the Mighty Wolf on the Caitlyn again. Gonna try his best to carry once more. And another change up, Thrifty Senpai, Vladimir in mid lane, but opting for that Ignite now, going up against Phoenix Blaze and his barrier. Is this the right pick overall, you think?
This is what I would expect Thrifty to do. Vladimir coming off a teleport, you're not going to be too afraid of that in any phase of the game. But Thrifty loves to play for his lane pressure, and he has been the much better laner through these first two games. So, take the Ignite, get the extra kill pressure. It's what I'd expect out of him. And his Vlad games, when he's played Vlad this season, it's looked, solid. Played it in the first game last week, and it wasn't the greatest, but he had some regular season games where it went very well.
Yeah, so it's something he's familiar with, and it can be a pick that gets going. If this team, this kick-ass lineup hits that team fight stage, that mid game, in a good spot, Vladimir can output a very good amount of damage with his ultimate. But Pot agreed, man. They're primed and ready to take this series in a quick 3-0. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Phil Destiny also bringing Ignite this time, so maybe playing a little bit looser, a little bit faster for Pot of Greed. Maybe they'll look for a little bit more aggressive stuff in bottom lane.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting thing to watch in the bot lane. Is Ezreal Leona? It's not going to be easy for them to set up kills against Caitlyn Zyra, but once they get their setup, they can commit so hard to it. Probably what I would have taken the Ignites, and then that also gives them Ignites for Thrifty Senpai in the mid game. But we will see if KIKAS can start the reverse sweep. They are already battle tested after last week's series going to game 5. We'll see if they can survive even more stress today.
Another quick load in. Thank you all for not playing on toasters. Appreciate that.
Hey, toasters matter.
That's true. Yeah, toasters in the whole scheme of human life. Pretty important. Game 5 in the script or no? I'm not going to reveal the script. Jeez. You're just going to have to sit back, relax, watch some more great SBL action here.
Yeah, man, the script is really good. Trust us. Game 5 in the finals. AJS and 30 both have to emergency sub in.
Don't tell him. It's
One
gonna be
of-
so good.
One of us is getting that SBL win. Fuck you, whoever said it's eternal.
Oh my god, yeah. It was all a setup, yeah. Oh man. And another fan out here. Nothing crazy from either of these teams.
30 seconds to remaining spawn.
Maokai jungle. So yeah, this is something we're gonna have to keep an eye on here.
Apparently got a fairly fast clear with
Yeah.
the new saplings.
Ganks are
According to-
mediocre and ult is situational, according to Twitch chat. Yeah, I just don't think that's a big enough factor here going up against Zachary Sejuani, which he's already proven that he can play. And Sejuani overall as a pick seems to be pretty good so far. A lot of CC if you're able to get up onto those targets. Oh, pop that in there. Boom.
Oh.
Cool. And jungler starting on opposite quadrants this time around. Maokai is starting up on those razor beaks there, so using his sapling start.
Ooh. Big trades in both the solos here at level 1.
Yeah. Thrifty actually on the losing end of that one.
But
But
not something we're used to saying.
yeah, but he is on the Vladimir, so a little leeway there with some spell vampirism. Spell vamp, is that still a thing? I don't know. It's just, it built into his abilities. He gets some health back, and we'll see if Zorbs' takeaway of the Zyra from Build Destiny can have an impact here. And we're seeing a little dominance so far from Mighty Wolf and Zorbs, pushing the lane a little bit forward, looking for some autos and some roots.
Yeah, level 1 going how you'd expect it to. As Thrifty looks like he wants to commit to this. He's got a flash out though, but the auto, I think, it gets the kill for Phoenix plays as flashes are traded.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
If this is the last game of Thrifty Senpai's SBL career, this is not how I wanted it to go.
No, that is surely true. But I mean, in sports, a lot of great athletes not having always the greatest, end of career games.
Dodge taking a lot of creep damage there. He's gonna flash away as a purple auto would have finished him. And watch out, it looks like Zachary coming up in the top lane, maybe looking for a dive, as I think purple screwed up the EQ, but
Yep.
my directed camera cut away.
Yeah, no, that looks like that he used the E cooldown much before the Q. Well, wait a minute, he's longer. I don't know. Root goes on
but
the
a
camera, the
big
exhaust
root
comes through.
Oh!
Oh, Zorb's not able to finish off the kill, and now the ignite on the turnaround. Phil Destiny now Mighty Wolf flashing for the auto, and he's gonna pick up the kill into Cammer. Zorbs turns around and roots up Destiny, but can Mighty Wolf turn this one around? The health pots are ticking. He actually he steps on the trap. Double kill for Mighty Wolf.
There have been some big trap step-ons tonight.
Yeah.
As Zachary getting in behind Scotch here, and once again, purple misses the EQ. Could have forced a huge trade there otherwise, but Wolf is not going down without a fight in this series.
No, sir.
He's ready to say, hey guys, it was all DC issues in game 1, and as soon as that got fixed, I'm still the Wolf you remember.
Yeah, in game two. Game two was great for him. So yeah, I guess he's just looking to repeat that same success, and hopefully his team can close it out and get a win on the board here. But man, that double CS lead there for Purple in the top lane, forcing that flash out early, and now Scotch just has to play real safe under this tower. Double longsword for Jarvan. It's gonna be a long laning phase for Tom Kench here.
Yes, yes it is. As he's Scotch going for a trade here. Puts down some good damage on the Scotch. I was about to say, you know, Purple could go for a nice lane freeze here. I should have known better. Purple's not going to go for a lane freeze. As Scotch has to really be careful playing around his vision here, as he's going to be a very juicy target if Zach wants to come set up a tower dive.
Yeah, but Zach paying a visit to the bottom lane, warded in the river though by Swerves early on, so just trying to apply a little bit of pressure back onto that bot lane, back onto Mighty Wolf, trying to suppress his lead here. Wow, BF sword. 540 into the game for Caitlyn.
Yeah, and this is going to be a really tough situation for Cameron Failed to be in, because Wolf currently has his choice of a lane freeze if he wants it, and there's not really anything that Ezreal Leona's going to do to break that, and it could turn into a huge CS advantage, although it looks like Wolf doesn't want to hold the lane freeze. No, maybe he does.
Yeah, he's just trying to get the most out of it. Yeah, it's gonna stay back a little even further, so really forcing Pot Agreed's bot lane to play further up than they might be comfortable with. Bora Bora though, he's still level 5 and he's on the top side of the map now by the Krug. Scotch gonna
Oh! For the king, baby! Purple hits 6 and immediately takes the free kill.
Yeah, nothing really for Scotch to do there. No flash.
And it's looking like Wolf is going to have his work cut out for him this game. Thrifty not having things go well in the mid lane, and now Scotch up to a gigantic advantage. That's when this wave hits, that's going to be 1,000 gold lead for Purple Pickle Pie.
Yeah, and on someone like Jarvan too, who's even more of a snowball champ than Fiora could ever hope to be. So a lot of good damage coming in from Jarvan, or from Purple Pickle Pie's Jarvan here in game 3 of the semifinals. Zach's in the bot lane on the control ward, looking for an in onto the bot lane. Pings are going down. The wall comes through from Phoenix Blaze, and it's going to be a 4-man gank onto the bottom lane. Zwerves is going to stop in front of the wall. No flash. Use Summoner Heal from Mighty Wolf to try to keep him alive, but he will go down.
Yeah, just a easy kill, really. Unfortunately, a lot committed just to put it onto the Leona, but KIKAS not really in a position to get anything out of it. They're just going to be pushing out mid lane off of all that, as Purple going to go keep making Scotch's life out. He hasn't even taken damage yet. He hasn't even taken damage yet. He is still autoing forward onto the Tom Catch, although he's going to take a stun. And Maokai is in the neighborhood. Purple's actually taken a lot of damage there. As we see Thrifty going for a tower dive, blows his everything and does not get it. And now Zachary is in. But so is the Maokai. What is...
Yeah, that's Maokai's ultimate. It moves so slow, but the tree roll comes through, and Scotch with the ultimate in, and he picks up the tongue lash and finishes off Zachary in the mid lane. That's a fun ultimate, isn't it? Thematically, it's just really so cool. Yeah.
That could be big for Scotch, but he lost a lot of CS to that play, a lot of tower damage, and he's still going to be at a 2-level disadvantage to Purple Pickle Pie up top. Yeah,
that's true, but I think at the end of the day, that's the play Scotch in this situation needs to make, right? He gets a kill gold up for himself, but he spreads the assist gold to some of his teammates, and he's not going to be able to do much on his top tower.
I'm almost thinking that EXP might have been more valuable than the kill for Scotch.
True.
It's,
Yeah.
it's hard to say. I mean, it depends on what Purple can do to capitalize
Yeah.
in these next few minutes.
Oh, yeah. Red buff, though, for Scotch, and Purple has to walk away from the minion wave, and Red buff's going to keep going. Now the eat comes through. Scotch is looking for it. He's looking for the kill into Purple Pickle Pie. There's the flash, and there's the tongue lash.
Ooh.
Scotch picking up that solo kill into Purple Pickle Pie. Zachary's in the top lane to try to return the kill, though, and he's going to get stunned up. Gray health is popped. Only a blue buff for the Sejuani, and Scotch gets out by the skin of his teeth. And,
yeah, I stand corrected about everything I just said about Scotch, as gets a really shocking solo kill onto Purple.
yeah. I don't think Purple had any idea that was possible.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. But, you know, he still retains that crazy CS lead, like you said, and he still has 500 gold lead overall over Scotch Not, so still not in a bad place so far. Ward's coming in from Zorbs on the Tribe Rush, and Bora Bora, he sneaks in to the lane. And now we saw him do this a lot in last week's series in the quarterfinals, but it was on Zach, someone who's pretty good at doing these lane brushes from far away.
And that ward in the next brush just wore off too, so he will be entirely unspotted.
Oh, they see him coming though. The control ward was in that riverside, so he was spotted out. The wall comes through, and Zorb's knocked onto the right side. And Zyrel comes through, and there it is. Airborne targets, and here comes the slow-moving Maokai ultimate. It's going to root up all three members, actually. And Mighty Wolf, he's going to pick up one kill for himself. And now Cameron stays alive from the Arcane Shift. But Thrifty roams down from mid. Purple Pickle Pie, he might go down again. The Scotchanaut. Vladimir ult comes through, and there it is! Scotchanaut, another solo kill.
Everyone but Zachary dying for Pot of Greed across the map there. This is turning into a very good game for KIKAS, as they should be able to get their first turn of the game here as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be. They should get it. Tower shot goes into the plant. Melee mini. Yep, there it is, and that'll be enough minions for them to take that one and get the first brick. And KIKAS, maybe a rough first couple minutes here, but they have really turned it around. Windrake's on the menu now, but Zachary is in the region. Maybe going to be contested here, and he has the Sejuani ultimate up. And nope, they're going to opt to maybe hand this one over to KIKAS.
Just the wind. That was a silly ult.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it let's see what the cooldown is. It's 81 seconds. I don't know if he had any windows for plays, so I mean, at the end of the day, who knows? It's a Windrake though, so a little less stock.
It does 100 damage.
Hey man, I'll never forget. What's that pro support player? Tornado stole the parrot.
I don't know, because Phoenix Blaze totally collapsed on it. Another kill for Thrifty Senpai, who has turned things around from his really poor early game.
Yeah, and yeah, if anyone in Twitch chat knows who that guy was, that was truly remarkable, man. But I suppose Janet Tornado does more damage than that solar flare.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know if it does actually, but
if it's ramped up, I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah, and I'm sure the Janna had like a little bit of AP something, but yeah, they pick up Phoenix Blaze like you said there, and Zachary once again in this bottom lane, just chilling in the Tribe Rush. Maybe he's looking for a counter gank onto Bora Bora, but alas, they might not even know this Rift Herald take is going on from KIKAS. Oh, Zachary now repeating the same lane brush that Bora Bora tried out just a couple minutes ago. And they're looking for it. Solar Flare goes down. The Sejuani ult lands, and it's going to be a dead Zorbs. Mighty Wolf trying to kite out, stay alive, and snared up Phil Destiny under tower. Zach, he goes in with the flash and the red buff, and he's going to finish off that kill onto the Mighty Wolf.
Yeah, it looks like teleport was canceled by Scotchanauts doing all of that as well, so this could be a good chance to equalize things. And actually, yeah, that's going to be a Team Gold lead that comes over to KIKAS, or sorry, for Pot of Greed. So
Yeah.
for all the things, and they're going to get a lot of damage on this tier 1 in the bot. So for all the things that have been going wrong, they're in an alright place here.
Yeah, they're actually going to take this one. So 2 quick towers for Pot of Greed, and yeah, they extend overall gold lead to 1,000. But that Rift Herald buff is in the pockets of Scotchanaut now. And Purple will pick up Pie after pushing it in top, maybe looking for a little roam in mid, just doing some wards though, and he's going to make his way back up there. Man, this game got real slow, real quiet.
Red team has summoned the Rift Heralds.
Alright, I care about it, Salvo. So he says Adrian. I don't know if I believe that. I don't remember Adrian doing stuff like that.
Yeah, it's easy just to assume Salvo's wrong about anything, so.
Thrifty and Bora Bora, they're making a push into this mid lane. Thrifty playing very aggressively, just trying to zone off and get some more tower damage. And Thrifty, he's gonna get solar flare. No wall, no pool, and now the flash to the side.
I can't believe he got out of that.
Yeah. Oh!
Camera, you dirty man!
Oh man. 2-shot barrage rings true. And Cameron picks up his 3rd kill of the game. Mighty Wolf though. Meanwhile at the bot lane, Mighty Wolf, he's going for it. And will be enough damage.
No, just kidding, there was a heal.
Yep.
I got heal baited. I played AD carry and I still got heal baited.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay,
Oh, so
okay.
those rotation out of Phil Destiny and Zachary, but Wolf has the right angle, so he's gonna stay alive here. So it's 2-2 in towers, but still overall Pot of Greed. Just some of these CS lead. Well, just basically Purple Pickle Pie. This actually, all of this gold lead might. Oh, it's actually not too much now. It's only like 300 gold. But yeah, Purple Pickle Pie. Only 400 gold, actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
he's essentially the entire gold lead. Everyone else within
Yeah.
about 100 of their counterparts.
And actually, no, we might have missed the Rift Herald.
Yeah, well, it went top, but
Yeah.
then the fight broke out bot. He wasn't able to really do much with it.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, I guess Rift Herald... I always assumed you just used him to initiate the mid lane ARAM fest.
Like more dragon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was not what happened there, so... Just got that one batter onto the tower.
Was him on P1. Oh, no, yeah. So maybe Adrian did do something similar to this, but the one I'm thinking of was like 2 years back. And it was literally a straight charge tornado against 5 people in Baron Pit.
You see Purple and Scotch going for duel number 3 here. And Purple wanted to get an ult off there, going for it, trying to get the knockup.
Oh!
Not get the knockup, and Scotch gets the kill as a result. He is somehow 4-1 in this bad matchup.
Wow, Purple so close there, thinking he can finally win that 1v1 against Scotch, but Tom Kench.
Yeah, and he screwed up his EQ in the middle of that, or he would have won that 1v1.
Yeah. The little extra bit of CC duration there. Yeah, would have been.
That was the difference.
Yeah.
And this gives the inside track on this dragon going to be a water started up by Pot of Greed here. They do have a teleport available as Purple spawns here, and there should be no Scotch available, but no, Scotch is going to respect, or sorry, Purple's going to respect Scotch teleport to top lane. So we will maybe see a back and TP play out of Scotch here at this dragon, but
Yeah, but Purple is smart here. He's going to continuously chase Scotch and not. Essentially still making this a 4v4. Oh, Cammer puts himself in a very bad position, and he gets finished off by Mighty Wolf, though, but Zachary slays the Ocean Drake. So, stealing it right in front of their face of KIKAS, and Thrifty going to finish off the kill off Phoenix Blaze on the backside, and it's 2 for 0, but the Dragon going over to Pot of Greed.
Yeah, but maybe
more
damage
here. Yeah.
to KIKAS here as they take tier 1 in the mid lane and get some damage onto the seconds.
Oh, here comes Purple Pickup High. Cataclysm is up in a couple seconds.
Yeah, Failed Destiny does not have his ult available.
Yeah, and here it is.
Now we see the engaged Purple coming and gets a nice two-man cannon. Wolf takes a lot of damage, but he's able to dash out on the Kata. And now everyone committing forward, but not going to find anyone. 2 kills for KIKAS. And they resume their siege.
Yeah, and however, Mighty Wolf and Zorbs, they're so low they cannot be here for this siege. So it's actually not a very effective one. And Scotch going maybe a little too deep there, has to flash out, and Thrifty's going to get out. And the blast cone, perfectly timed for Scotch not to get him out as well. So yeah, wow, 3K gold lead now for the KIKAS lineup here. Cameron looking for it. Thrifty, yeah, gonna go down. Potentially greedy back there, but Cameron with the know-how to get in range. Red buff going on to Phoenix Blaze here. Mighty Wolf, easy pick up there, and
every time Cameron makes a play, Wolf is able to just find something to match.
yeah. Ooh, red buff, yeah. No, Summoner Heal once again from Camber. Rooted!
Oh, no! Oh, it gives him the extra range on the auto and a super easy kill for Wolf.
Oh,
That was really bad out of Camber.
Yeah.
There was nothing there on the grounds to miss that trap, man.
that's a whoopsies if I've ever seen one. Oh man, and yeah, 4 strong in mid lane here for KIKAS as Mighty Wolf setting up that trap line. Just laying good, consistent DPS onto this tower. Thrifty making the long walk back. And Camera's going to be up in 3 seconds, so Purple is on the bottom flank, looking for something onto the carries of KIKAS. So 1-0-5 on this Maokai jungle for Bora Bora. He's been in the right place at the right times.
Yeah, he's done everything his team needs him to be.
Yeah.
You know,
But I mean, what do we got? We got I mean, he's 400 gold up on the Sejuani despite being down 20 CS here. But it's just that assist gold.
Yeah, assist
so
gold,
good.
2 extra turrets, 3 extra turrets now.
Yeah, and
All adds
Maokai is
up.
probably gonna get very, very tanky here with this next item buy. Same with Sejuani though. He's only a health crystal down, so. So the game has slowed down a little bit. Both teams resetting fully, and both lined up around the river.
Yeah, KIKAS, their comp is kind of more built for the slow setup here, so I'm not too surprised by it. I think they're, well, maybe Bora Bora taking it back here, so it might be another minute before they can really set up a substantial play of some sort.
Purple is totally undetected here on this flank up top, and Wolf maybe potentially getting baited in here, and he goes in the knock up, rooted from Purple Pickle Pie, but that's not going to matter to Mighty Wolf. Goes down to start this fight here, and now Thrifty and Zerbs trying to defend the towers 2 on 5, and the slow moving Maokai comes to disengage, and True Shot Barrage.
Oh man, that was so rough for Purple as he got CC chained just before he was able to get a Cataclysm off, so he never got an ult off in that fight, or I think we would have seen more kills for Pot of Greed, but now
Yeah.
Camer playing Greedy gets forced out. Camer, he really likes playing with fire on this Ezreal.
Yeah. Yeah, wowzers. But I mean, without Mighty Wolf here, there's the the reach for KIKAS's lineup is pretty short. So as long as Cameron's able to arcane shift out, he usually survives here. As long as Mighty Wolf's not there, of course. And now he is back up, and KIKAS posturing, looking like they're trying to set up some vision for a Baron. Maybe just a bait, or maybe just starting it straight up, and that's what they're doing here.
Purple's in that bot lane. Does have teleport available, and Purple is teleporting in on the flank. I think that Pot of Greed are going to have to commit to this fight here. As Veiled Destiny coming in from the other side, Purple has backed out. Looking like Pot of Greed maybe won't commit to this. As Cameron's laying down some poke on the side here. Zachary really getting forced out of this fight at low health. But Purple is still lurking in the wings.
Yeah, they have to respect that. They cannot put themselves in a situation where they get flanked by Purple Pick Reply. His Cataclysm damage is just too great onto the key members. Oh, the net is not going to make it over the wall, but Mighty Wolf gets eaten over the wall. Scotch is not the savior Mighty Wolf needs, and now Purple Pick Reply, he's going in onto Mighty Wolf, and he will take him down. Hammer picks up the True Shot Barrage. Purple, he's going to get his life returned in the process, though, and low members of Pot of Greed have to flash out. Sejuani ult to disengage. And it's actually a 1 for 2 at the end of the day. Cameron went down in that ordeal. Scotch not using the ultimate, puts Thrifty into the back line, gets the flank onto Phoenix Blaze, and yeah, they're able to pick it up onto him as well. So 3 members dead for Pot of Greed.
Yeah, that was really rough for Pot of Greed there. That looked like if there was going to be a comeback fight, that was the setup they were going to need, and they still lose that fight pretty badly. As second Ocean of the game going to go over to KIKAS on the tail end of this play.
Ooh, Ocean Drake on this lineup is pretty dirty, honestly, for Vlad, Scotch, and Vlad, Tom, and Caitlyn overall.
With how slow their setup has been, they should be able to get a lot of extra value out of this Ocean.
Yeah.
As they're now matched between the two teams.
But equally so potentially on Pot of Greed, even though there's just a lot more burst, a lot more just like, hey, we want to win this team fight, throw down the ultimates from Pot of Greed. Cameron, any kind of region he can get onto himself to stay alive. He has to play the Rune King. He's working on that Triforce. Already has that Mura mana completed. So he's sitting at a pretty good spot for Ezreal, item spike wise. And once that Triforce completes, he'll fully enter the Ezreal zone. So teleport up for Scotch, not up for Purple, so a TP advantage for KIKAS. Scotch split pushing in the bottom, 4 in the middle for KIKAS. And Zachary way off in blue side jungle, and now they have to try to rush back, and inside track potentially on the bottom lane once the wave hits. They're looking for something, little sneaky ambush play. Baiting out potentially Phil Destiny here, but yeah, and everyone dispersed.
Yeah, but in all the chaos, Wolf does start getting damage down on the spot lane turret, so the siege has officially begun. With that rapid fire cannon, he will be slowly but surely putting down damage every wave here. As Sejuani ult going to come out of Zachary and not accomplish anything. Failed Destiny getting chunked out really low. This is not looking good for Pot of Greed. Leona ult going to come out, but Wolf is able to net out of it. That is 4 of 5 ults down for Pot of Greed. All 5 available for KIKAS.
Yeah, Thrifty rotating back mid, try to get that wave speeding along towards that mid inhibitor, though. Top wave, though, looks like it's pretty set in its ways to stay up there. And they do have that teleport advantage that they could be employing right now. Man, there's some good chunking coming out from camera on these Mystic shots. Everyone seems to be landing. But the Ocean Drake, like we just stated, it's doing its work here. Staying alive. Mighty Wolf takes another tower shot and a Mystic shot. It's a real slow roller here from KIKAS as they try to make a dent into the base of Pot of Greed for the first time here in Game 3.
Maokai ult gonna come out, maybe just trying to zone, but doesn't really do a lot. As now we see Zachary coming forward, ult that's recharge and hits 4, and Purple is in on the flank. He puts down a ton of damage. As 2 go down immediately for KIKAS, and Pot of Greed can keep playing this forward. This is a disaster for KIKAS, although Thrifty Senpai putting down as much damage as he can on the turnarounds here, but he has not taken out any of the major carries. Phoenix Blaze going to get killed on the tail end of this, and Wolf is now Camera gets the kill. It was salvaged, kind of, by KIKAS, as what looked like it was going to be a ace for nothing ends up being only Camera surviving.
Yeah, wow. Just a back and forth team fight there. I mean, but Failed Destiny starts that fight off with a 4-man solar flare, and you think it's pretty hard to come back from that, but Kick-Ass Thrifty in the back line, dip diving and dodging, lays down Vlad ult and just stays alive, being a real nuisance. Mighty Wolf was able to actually kite himself out of there using the net and the flash and the heal, and puts the distance away from all that wombo combo. But I mean, at the end of the day, it just kind of just resets the map, right? I mean, the failed push, I suppose, out of Kick-Ass, and a little bit more leeway for POG to make a comeback here.
Yeah, and just for everything going wrong, they just keep buying themselves time. Only a 3,000 gold lead as they get later and later into this game. As they're now setting up around this Baron. Both top laners have their teleports available. It looks like we're going to see a classic 1-4 going here.
So 4-7-4 Jarvan, 4-2-7 Tom Kench, 30 minutes into the game. What kind of battle 1v1 goes on between these two? I don't know if Purple can actually go toe-to-toe with Tom Kench.
He absolutely can't, and that puts POG in a really awkward place as the Weaver's Wall comes out here. Bill doesn't play forward. He gets a 2-man solar play there. Now, Purple going for some damage. Wolf being kind of zoned out of this fight. And Wolf does go down, but what's the cost? 50 doing the Vlad things in the middle of everyone right now. Trying to put some damage down, but not securing a kill. Now, 50 is down. Both of the carries are down for Kick-Ass. Camber is still alive and very, very healthy as Kick-Ass are in a full retreat. They've traded Phoenix Blade for everyone but their jungler. A triple kill for the big dick himself, Camber. And this is the disaster we thought the last fight was gonna be for Kick-Ass.
Yeah, and what looked like an awkward Weaver wall was actually just the right thing. Purple scurries out of the 1v1 in bot lane and meets his team there, and they pick off Mighty Wolf in the Dragon Pit, and Thrifty not able to get all that damage damage down like he did in that last fight by the bot inhibitor, and Potagreed's gonna take a tier 2 mid tower from that, and they're rotating over for Baron.
This is a very greedy play. I don't know if they have the DPS to finish off this Baron. Gotch will have a teleport available if he wants to buy time, and yeah, they're just setting up vision in that area, so the right call, I think, for Pot of Greed, who have taken a gold lead after that last fight and put most of that gold onto Camera, who now, despite everything that went well early, has a gold lead onto Mighty Wolf.
Yeah, wow, and yeah, he's, like I said earlier, the Drive Force is completed. Now the Executioner's calling on top to even cut the healing from Vlad and everyone else on Kick-Ass just that much more. And he's truly in the Ezreal zone. He can do a lot of work for himself. Scotch eats up Failed Destiny to start this fight. True Shot Barrage lands through onto a lot of people, but rooted from Camera here, and they're trying to go onto him. He's able to Arcane Shift for the wall. Meanwhile, Thrifty zones out 2 members from Pot of Greed. The barrier is popped by Phoenix Blaze, but will it be enough? It won't. The Ignite also finishing him off there. So a pick for Kick-Ass.
Oh, a bad set of plays out of Pot of Greed there, and now they are in danger of giving over this Baron Nashor. Purple does have a teleport available if they try to contest this. Zachary is looking over the wall, but does not have sight in that pit right now. Going to be going pretty blind here, and I don't think he's going to be able to get his... Yeah, why would you flash there? It's going to flash it now. Camera trying to make a miracle, but he's going to just give up his life for free there. Zachary still being chased down by Thrifty Senpai, who should eventually get it. Maybe
no, I think
not. No.
Zachary's out of this one, and Purple forced back from his split push bottom with a TP answer from Scotch. And so, yeah, the Baron successfully goes over to Kick-Ass there. And yeah.
That's huge because that puts... with a Caitlyn and a Baron buff, there's a really easy path to finally destroying the Pot of Greed base. But a big room going to be catching out Failed Destiny, and he goes down. Not a time where they could afford to give up an extra death.
Yeah, no, it's, there's no clear-cut way for Failed Destiny to get back to his base there, and he just accepts his death. Phoenix Blaze gets rooted up temporarily and trying to use his wave clear to keep that inhibitor tower alive, but it's not going to be enough. He gets knocked over to Cammer, 30 Senpai does, and the wall comes through. Purple Pickle Pie able to finish him off, though. Inhibitor goes down.
Inhibitor down, but still a 4v4, although one of the carries down for KIKAS as they've rotated onto this bot turret. Should be able to take it, and they will. And I think that's where they're going to end this push. Very successful first wave of action with the Baron buff.
Yep, and they're going to pick up this red buff on the way out and then go over and get that second Ocean Drake for themselves. And Pot of Grey, they are left with an inhibitor down in the mid lane, no inhibitor tower in the bot lane. But they're still in this. Still a lot of damage on camera here on this Ezreal, and I guess they the pick that he got, when he was sort of over by the Baron pit, that sort of snowballed all of the last 5 minutes. That was sort of the first time he did that this game. He's able to stay alive, or at least not get picked off in such a weird way. Ooh, steals away that red buff from Mighty Will, but he's looking for more. He'll get out though with the Arcane Shift. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, Cammer in a lot of danger here.
Oh.
I think he realized it, but an Arcane Shift juke. He's gonna get away from Scotch and not. And I don't think Wolf can chase
Oh
him.
my
Wolf
God.
goes down. Cammer trying to aim a true shot barrage here. Cammer fighting everyone there. And now Purple Pickle Pie shut up. He puts the Cataclysm down, but maybe a bad ult there. As we see a man advantage now for KIKAS as Wolf is turned back in this fight. Life stealing away. 50 Senpai with the kill onto Purple. 50 Senpai with the double kill onto Failed Destiny. And now Phoenix and Cammer being forced. Now Cammer takes the Caitlyn ult. But this is going to be a really good opportunity for KIKAS to finish destroying the Pot of Greed base.
Yeah. Whew, man, Camera really flexing there. He was looking for like a 1v2 scenario there, but Scotch with the eat onto Mighty Wolf, they're able to escape and get out and keep their carry alive.
Yeah, but it might not be enough here.
Yeah.
As now Zachary being engaged on the Weaver's Wall coming down, gonna keep Zach and Cammer away from each other. But maybe enough time bought as we are close to some spawns here. But Baron Super's coming out of the mid lane. Phoenix Blaze trying to make a play, but not having a lot of luck. Phil Destiny comes up with the ult, and now Cammer playing forward, drops the True Shot Barrage, and actually going to land damage. But another Caitlyn trap stepped on by Cammer, and that could be the disaster that ends this game. As Pot of Green, no, they are playing forward. Purple putting down some good damage here. Him and Phil Destiny trying to take out everyone, but it should not be enough, as there it is, the ace in the first game win of the series for KIKAS, keeping their season alive.
Wow, yeah, and it looked tough. It looked tough for KIKAS, but they did it at the end of the day. Mighty Wolf, 10, 5, and 17, so finally getting that win he so desperately wanted. And yeah, that'll be game 3 there, folks, and we'll try to kick off game 4 as quick as we can. Stay tuned.